All right, we're going live. Welcome, everybody. We have a great evening planned for you as far as our wonderful organization. I'm Jason. I'm the vice chair of our action committee. With me, we have several team members online, as well as some board members and other committee members. All of our support is garnered here today for what is our annual general meeting. This is our second annual general meeting, and it's very exciting that we've made it this far. And I want to congratulate everyone for doing such a great job in the last corporate year. It's been such an amazing experience, and I am super proud of all of the progress that we've made as an organization. So I want to congratulate all the team members watching, and everybody that couldn't make it tonight. Thank you so much for your support, even just on YouTube, for watching. We have a wonderful team. As you'll see in just a moment, there are 230 team members right now, currently across the organization, and it's an extraordinary feat. And right now, I'm going to pass it over to a wonderful person who's been with our organization nearly from day one. She is the chair of our committee, and she gives her time graciously across the organization to different things that are in need. So please welcome Romaine, our chair of our action committee.
Thank you, Jason. Hi, everyone. As Jason said, my name is Romaine. I am the chair of Defense Action Committee. I'm so glad to be here with you all again tonight for our annual general meeting. I share the same thoughts as Jason does. I'm so grateful for all the hard work that everyone from Defend has put into throughout the past couple of years. It's been an honor to work with the different types of people that I've worked with concerning Defend matters. And I'm glad that we get to share tonight our goals, what we've been up to with Defend to the public. And I hope that you all enjoyed this annual general meeting. Okay. Next slide. Okay, perfect. So as we touched upon a little bit, Defend was founded in 2020 by a gentleman named Dermot. It really started off of the observation that there's a need for online protection of children on social media. Our main way of lobbying this was through petitions. And getting the public to sign a petition concerning the educational material that children are taught at school, and make it mandatory for them to be taught about social media and online safety and the different tactics and mechanisms that they can use in order to be safe online and protected from any harm, right? In addition to that, we're lobbying for age verification and ID verification on all social media platforms, so that people are who they say they are, right? This is a prevention mechanism in order to prevent any child sex abuse in order to prevent anything that is harmful to a child or any vulnerable person. Um, there are The petition has evolved into more than 200 team members from more than 18 countries on 25 different teams, all having weekly meetings to shape all our futures online. So there are various different streams in Defend that all meet in order to really advocate for the protection of children online. Next, we have fun and awesome facts about Defend in the year of 2023. So as I've stated, so in 2022, there are approximately 700 team meetings across the organization. So all the different streams of Defend having meetings in order to speak on how to advance Defend's mission. There have been more than 450 team meetings. In the last corporate year, there were more than 21,000 persons hours input just for team meetings. And so we are so grateful that everyone else is seeing the value in this cause and putting their own personal time in order to advocate for our mission, for Defense mission and vision. This is valuable just because other people, not just us, realize how important advocating for the protection of children online is important. So that's a lot of hours put in. Since November 2021, we've been tracking how many unique people have applied to work with Defend in some way. So a lot of people from different backgrounds all around the world. And that's what's so nice for me specifically on here at Defend, is because I get to work with people all around the world, right? At different time zones, everyone working for the same cause, right? Some apply through our website. Some we've gotten them through our outreach, and they say, "Hey, I would like to join Defend." And so we're working with people all around the world. Next, from November 2021 until November 22, there were 15,000 people that applied. Wow, a lot of people that applied to Defend, seeing the value in our mission and our vision. Yeah.
It's 1,500.
Sorry, 1,500 people that applied. I wish it was 15,000. We'll get there.
Well, so this is an interesting statistic here. November 2021. So November 2021, we started tracking how many unique people have applied. And from November 2021 to November 2022, that's where 1,501 people applied for. And that works out to be about 125 people applying to work with Defend in some fashion just in that 12 months time frame of November 2021 to November 2022. Romaine, do you want to take a guess as to how many people have applied since November 2022?
15,000? Just kidding.
No, that is like significant now.
How many?
So actually, so in the 7 months or 6 months or 7 months it's been approximately since November, there have been 1,663 people that have applied for Defend in some fashion. So in the last 6 months, we've already surpassed that first year that we started tracking this. And that works out to be about 230 people applying per month, which is astounding.
Yeah, that is amazing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it's more than we can handle right now. We can't keep up with the amount of people that are trying to apply. We have people working around the clock just to even respond to people. that are applying to work with us. It is that bad. So I guess that's a pretty good problem to have, but in general, it's sort of overwhelming because, as I said earlier, we have right now currently just over 230 or 240 people working with us right now across our 25 different teams. Also, when someone applies, it is that we ask them to fill out an intake questionnaire. And one of the questions on that intake form is now asking them, as of March 2023, we started asking this one particular question: why is it do they want to work with us? So we had, in the last, since March, we've had 473 people fill out that portion, and an astounding 82% say that they want to help people, which is absolutely remarkable. We have a lot of other reasons why people want to join us, but ultimately, what is kind of overwhelming, what people say is that they want to be helping people. They want to be helping to protect children and vulnerable people online, which is at the core of what we're doing every day. I'm going to pass it over now to our colleague Attika. She is on our action committee, and she's going to talk to you about our education team.
Okay, so our educational team is basically composing all kinds of educational material, posts, videos on our social media and website. So this is the people who are in charge of finding out the data, the statistics, studies, and findings to help teaching parents and teachers and the public about reducing risk of their children online. So that's currently in development. Next slide, please. So yeah, the upcoming parent workshop is called We the Defenders, and we basically teaching parents and teachers on how to reduce the risk of their children in the online platforms. So we're developing that, and we're compiling all sorts of things that will make sure that the product will be very educational and high yield. Next slide, please. So this is free 6-week course and highly interactive. We're probably going to advocate for, like, we're planning on making it more like an active learning, right? And give parents the tools that they need to protect their children better online. And it's an offered year-round virtually on Zoom with a live presenter, and will be extraordinary resource for parents. So all they need to do is just hop into Zoom, and it's free. And it basically removes a lot of barrier for parents who want to be educated but don't have means for it. Yeah, I'll pass it back to Jason. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Annika. Next, we're going to talk about our advocacy team, who are really responsible for trying to affect widespread societal change. Right now, they are working on our latest petition for social media literacy classes to become mandatory in all elementary schools. And this is so important because we have children that at the age of 10 getting their first cell phones, which is remarkable. Kids as young as 8 in a recent survey from Scotland are on Facebook and Instagram setting up accounts, essentially putting themselves at risk. And they don't know how to deal with this kind of risk. So our suggestion, our petitions are moving towards yanking or lobbying government officials to be pushing this into the school system at a very early age. We're suggesting as early as grade 4 or 5. Generally, this is before they're getting their first device where they can be surfing the internet independently. And we think that they need to be learning about, grooming. They need to be learning about scams. They need to be learning about all these different types of online risks at a very early age. And this needs to become part of the curriculum. A really promising update from the advocacy team in the last week has been, we have been in touch with the Minister of Education in Quebec. So we have 4 petitions ready to serve in Quebec, Alberta, Ontario, and British Columbia. We have all the required petition signatures in hard copy form ready to be serving. So we have now been in touch with the Minister of Education. She just wrote us, I believe it's a female. She just wrote us a letter the other day as far as what Quebec is doing as far as media literacy. And we have yet to respond to it, but it's a very promising endeavor to be able to have widespread change like this happen with people that are in positions of power. And this is the kind of thing that our advocacy team is doing on a regular basis. They're also increasing engagement and working with our marketing team, generally building relationships with outside stakeholders and organizations. Our advocacy team right now is in part helping to bridge connections between other nonprofits and our teams. For instance, we have a new workshop that we're developing, a workshop that is for other organizations, other businesses, we're going to exclusively be offering this at first to organizations that have individuals that are of a vulnerable state of some sort. So women's shelters, newcomers to Canada, they are all going to be able to get our 45-minute workshop that some of you may have already experienced. We started doing test runs of our workshop, of our cybersecurity workshop, Life Hacks. We started doing that, I want to say 3 months ago, and we had some awesome team members, Sean and Anna, and a few others help develop this workshop. And now we are ready to start presenting it. So that's what they're working on as well with our marketing team. We are also, with our advocacy team, weighing the possibility of supporting or starting a class action lawsuit against certain tech companies for failure to protect people on their platforms. And this is a huge thing. I was just having a conversation with some of our team members earlier today about Section 230 in the US of the Communication Decency Act, which is essentially a shield, if you will, for social media platforms that host fairly dangerous content or even poisonous or toxic content, content that is put up there by its users. So Section 230, if you don't know, in the US is a federal law, and it basically allows for the tech companies to throw their hands up in the air and say, we're not liable for what our users put on our platforms. And that has been used to deflect many, many lawsuits throughout the US. It's something that we hope to change, because we see changes coming right now in 7 or 8 US states across the US. We have the state of Utah was the latest to implement what is being referred to as meaningful verification for age. And we have companies like Pornhub who are fighting this. Pornhub is fighting legally with the state of Utah to stop meaningful age verification on in the state of Utah. So, this kind of legal action likely is going to carry on for many years. The EU is no stranger to this. They are kind of ahead of the curve as far as North America is concerned. And, we're trying to implement stuff like this here in Canada and the US and eventually abroad. We have right now 18 or 19 different countries represented from our different team members. And it's something where we are extremely grateful for that. And it's also something that we think will become very valuable at some point when we're looking to do different lobbying measures in other countries outside of North America. So next, I'll talk to you about our marketing team. I don't believe we have anybody here representing our marketing team today, but our marketing team is working on a really interesting project sort of in the background. It's called Defend Shorts. If you go on our website, HelpUsDefend.com, you'll see a little bit more information about this program. We are essentially creating what will likely be 4 short films that will be professionally put together by filmmakers in different jurisdictions with the hopes of submitting these films to film festivals. These will be little mini calling cards for Defend, and they will discuss in depth, basically a short 5-minute movie about one type of issue that we deal with on a regular basis, one type of online risk on a regular basis is something that you'll see in these upcoming short film projects that we're working on. We are looking at our marketing team is looking at getting sponsorships for these projects. So if you're a business owner, if you're a content creator and you want to be sponsoring and having, product placement perhaps inside these short films, this is something where we can have these kinds of partnerships happening on a regular basis. I'm going to, oops. There we go. Our marketing team is also tasked with focusing on the managing of our brands as an organization. We have several different brands across our organization that are basically our babies. If you don't know, we have, I think right now we have maybe 4 or 5 different brands that we are helping to flourish across our 25 different teams. So our marketing team is focused on managing and building those brands and campaigns around those. One of those campaigns is around 65 Square, which is, as some of you already know, our new social media platform that we are working on publishing. Our social media team, I sit as an interim team lead on our social media team. I will say that our social media team handles our socials, and we have a lot of great people on that team. They are content creators of all kinds, video, audio, editors, researchers and writers, and graphics people. They are producing content on a regular basis. And generally, it's something that we've had our struggles because we know that dealing with the kinds of content that we talk about on a regular basis, trying to prevent child sex abuse, just even mentioning these terms on social media, major social media platforms. These platforms are horrible, horrible platforms, but they're pretty good at capturing and suppressing stuff like mentioning child sex abuse. That's the unfortunate part, is that we kind of get bundled together with people that are talking about that kind of stuff in an illegitimate way. So we've had our struggles, although in the last year, we have had significant growth. Our YouTube channel is probably one of the biggest growth, the places for us to see the biggest amount of growth. Our one YouTube channel, I think, has just over 5,000, subscribers. And we can see here that we've had 22,000 views in the last year, although that's not a lot, although it's a lot for us. In the grand scheme of things, though, it's growth, and we are continuing to grow. We have had almost, on different platforms, we've had almost 150% growth. And on other platforms, we've had growth around 50%. But at least it's growth. And we've actually scaled back the amount of platforms that we're supporting. So right now, you can only find Defend accounts on TikTok, on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, and Instagram. And we intentionally got rid of a few other ones just for simple maintenance purposes, and because we don't agree with the way they conduct their business. Although I would suggest that we likely don't agree, face to face on some of these issues that plague these platforms. There have been just in 2022, there were, on just these 4 platforms, there were 7.5 million child sex abuse reports. And that's one of the reasons why, likely as an organization, these don't fit within our mantra. We are really trying to, move away from this kind of thing. Although we can't grow as an organization without being able to connect with the general public. And there's no better way to do that than through these 4 major platforms. So it's unfortunately an evil that we've had to bear and deal with. I believe I'm going to turn it back over to Atka, and she's going to talk to us about our workshop team.
Yeah, so the workshop team, like we said earlier, we believe in reducing the barrier for those who are interested in promoting the safety of children online. So this is also another low barrier workshop that we're cooking. And next slide, please. And and it's called Life Hacks. And it's being offered to basically, offered to businesses, charities, and nonprofits. So I will be in charge of outreaching to different nonprofits, as I have a good networking on them. And I will do some putting into feedbacks from the perspective of a victim myself. And it's a 45 minutes virtual course helping anyone to reduce online risk around the house or in their workplace. So it's a very good workshop that we have. And actually, it's available now. And so yes, and it's free. Like I said before, we are reducing that economic barriers for people to get all these education in them. So yeah, I pass it back to Jason. Thank you, Jason.
Yes, so I'm going to talk a little bit now about some of our projects that are coming soon. Although our first project that we're going to discuss is our podcast. It has already been on the podcast platforms for the last year, more than a year, I believe. And if you haven't seen it or heard it yet, seen it because we have an animated episode for each episode that deals with a different type of risk online for a different type of demographic. And we have 13 episodes, I believe, right now in our first season. And our second season, we have 8 episodes that we're working on right now. They're coming in fall. Episodes that will be discussing topics like AI, which is a really hot topic right now, dangerous online stunts, sugar daddy websites, and more. We have also a very, very special announcement, and I want to share that with you right now. Actually, that was the wrong one. Right.
In a world where depression can be crippling and mental illness can cast dark shadows, when you're treated as an outcast in society, it can push you beyond your limits with mandatory reporting laws. Just go in for help from a doctor or a therapist when one is having thoughts but hasn't harmed a child can trigger a report to authorities, which can prevent people from getting help. This is why we're building one of the world's first anonymous online support groups for minor attracted people. Because loneliness and isolation can feel insurmountable, but together in a community, we can learn, share, and stay focused on hope. Introducing It's All Gray, because there is no black and white on these issues. Support groups, referral services, and educational content all coming soon.
Hello, thank you so much. My name is Lucas. Hello, thank you so much. My name is Lucas. I'm the team lead and committee chair for the MAPS team. I'm just going to give a quick overview of the direction that we're taking our program in, things that we're hoping to launch in the near future. So a quick overview of the term MAP for those of you who don't already know. We'll often hear the word pedophile used in our society, and this is often misused in a harmful way. So the term MAP is generally more encompassing and less stigmatizing. It stands for minor attracted person. So our focus in our program is going to be MAPs who understand the harm that child sexual abuse causes and are committed to never harming a child. And this population can be called no-MAPs, so that's short for non-offending minor attracted person. While we're primarily going to be serving MAPs who struggle with things like depression, anxiety, and isolation, that doesn't necessarily represent the experience of all minor attracted people. So many do live fulfilled, non-offending lives and don't necessarily see their minor attraction as a mental health concern. But the main reason we created It's All Gray is because we saw that there's so much emphasis in our society on reacting to child sexual abuse once it's already taken place, or right as it's about to take place, and we are really focused on preventing it altogether. So I'm sure that many of you have seen images in the media, probably To Catch a Predator, maybe YouTube videos of people that call themselves pedophile hunters that try to catch people in the act. So based on what we know from experts in this field, this kind of intervention actually does more harm than good. And our approach is to prevent child sexual abuse in the first place so that it never escalates to the level that we see in some of these predator hunting videos. So we have two kind of main goals with our program. The first is, of course, to prevent child sexual abuse, which is in line with Defend's mission, and also to provide support to MAPs who choose not to offend. And this second goal really is, in and of itself, a way to reduce child sexual abuse because we know that people are more likely to offend when they feel isolated and when they feel like they have nothing to lose. So that's not to say that any minor attracted person who feels isolated is inevitably going to offend, definitely not. But the supports that we are going to be offering through our No Maps program will help MAPS who may be struggling to build community and to allow them to access the peer support that they may not have access to otherwise. And if you'd like to learn more about map-related issues or even learn about terms that often get misused, I would strongly recommend going to the Defend website. It's just right here under the Maps tab. And this goes into a little bit more detail on some of the things that society gets wrong and some overall terms. So the It's All Gray program will have three main parts to it: a weekly online support group, an education campaign, and eventually legal advocacy. So the support group will be kind of the first phase as we roll out the program. We're really hoping to have it up and running sometime later this summer. And essentially it's going to be a weekly meeting held over Zoom, completely anonymous. And what's cool about it is that it's going to be accessible from anywhere in the world. So as long as somebody speaks English, it doesn't matter where they're from, where they live, they'll be able to access it. However, we will have some safeguards in place, so we want to make sure that people are 18 years and older, that they actually do identify as a MAP, and that they're committed to not offending. But once they go through the sign-up process, we want to make it as accessible as possible because we've seen some of the barriers that exist for accessing these services. Our next phase will be an education campaign where we'll be putting out videos, articles, FAQs, tons of other resources to educate the public about map-related issues and specifically tailor that to certain segments of the population. So for example, some of the resources will be specifically tailored to parents and some specifically to healthcare providers so that different segments of the population can really get the best understanding possible of map issues. And eventually we would love to partner with a lawyer to challenge certain laws that we believe to be unconstitutional in the sense that they discriminate against maps or increase barriers to them accessing help, which can indirectly contribute to child sexual abuse. In designing all these different components of the program, we've consulted with several experts in the field. One of them is Dr. James Cantor, as well as Dr. Gillian Tenbergen. We've also reached out to other organizations that serve the MAP community, although unfortunately at this point in time there are just not very many out there. But overall, we're just beyond excited to be able to offer this much needed service and really play a part in destigmatizing MAPs who choose not to act on their attractions so that we can all live in a safer and more connected world.
Wow, thank you, Lucas. That is another great initiative that our teams have started, and we can find that program, It's All Gray, coming soon. As Lucas said, it's looking like more towards summertime, or maybe towards the tail end of summertime, that we can actually get this project online. I'm now going to turn things over to Alex, who is the team lead on our Unity team, which is one of our development teams on 65 Square. Alex?
Okay, thank you, Jay. Thank for opportunity to introduce Unity team today, and a few topics about our team. First of all, I want to tell about our goal. Our goal of our team is to bring best user experience and convenience for our users, and our responsibility in our big company, big team, it's a user interface. So what user understand, what users see our application or our product. So we're responsible for it. And our main technology what we use actually it's a Unity. It's a graphic technology Microsoft, and our team uses this for create our application and our products. About our roles and what's learning, what skills cover our team. It's 3D modeling, it's C# development, and we have testers, and we work with augmented reality. So it's our stack, and we can and we do our products using these skills. And could you please switch to next slide, Jay? And about geography, on the start of the meeting, we mentioned about where is our teammate located, and I make some research, and actually wanted to introduce this research here. Main part of our team located in America. It's mostly Northern American, but we have team members in the Colombia, India, and Greece additional. But as I told early, most our team it's North America, Canada, and US. We have 11 teammates or in our team. So, and we expect that soon we have new team members, and our team will grow, and our skills, our experience will cover new fields, and it's help build more and best good applications. Thank you. And next slide. And I want to mention about our our project. We work with Dating Square and 65 Square. Today we will talk about this a little later, but I would mention what we work, what our project, what our work. So here is our team, and I want to thank you all our teammates who make really good project, and we make really responsibility things. So thank you.
Thank you, Alex. And that is a little bit from our Unity team. And one of our projects, obviously, that Alex has mentioned is 65 Square, which is something that we have been developing for now. It's just over 2 years. And we decided to take a look at a severe problem. In the US in 2021, there were $600 million lost in online romance scams, most of which these scams started on dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, Bumble. You know, these are, platforms that have online scams flourish on a daily basis. And this problem is only getting worse. And we have been working on a dating section of our full social media site. 65 Square, if you don't know, looks and feels like it's best to kind of relate to Google Street View. And if we were to remove all of the buildings on Earth and allow our users to place virtual buildings on real world maps, that's what 65 Square looks like. And in every major city around the world, there would be what we're calling a dating square. a building that represents, that's anchored to GPS location, you know, somewhere on a real world map, in a city, a place that people go to connect with others that they want to be dating with. And this was going to be part of our full social media system, a small part of it, but a very significant part, because this is a huge problem in the online dating industry. And well, we decided that we're now going to take our revolutionary login system, which is using facial analysis to judge someone's age. It's using someone's ID when they sign up and removing the ability for them to, you know, put fake information in. We are encrypting that private information and having the world's most secure login, now helping to power what we are calling Dating Square, which is going to be the world's healthiest and safest platform. And I'm going to share with you just a very brief introduction about Dating Square. This is something that wasn't supposed to play here. Actually, sorry, I'm going to. All right, I am going to. So that is just the introduction to Dating Square. And what I want to share with you now is actually a walkthrough of the actual app.
There were over 20 million reports of child sex abuse on Facebook in 2020.
So I'm going to share with you now the actual interface that has been put together. So this is running directly off of an Android phone right now. And what we're not going to explore right now is the technology behind the login system, because the login system is something else, and it's just amazing. But here we have the 65 Square dating app. Now this is a developer's promo, if you will. It's not necessarily the final production version. We have some stuff that is acting a little buggy, but generally we have 3 different features that one will find when they get onto, well, 4 main features. The video alluded to time. So there's going to be a 2-hour time limit and people will get kicked off after that. If someone is wanting to stay on longer, they'll be able to pay to stay on longer if they want. But the 2-hour daily timer is something that we think is going to become a very sharp line in the sand. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, and we know that likely the people that are going to hate it are going to be the ones that are probably spending too much time online already as it is. No matter what, though, they will still have that ability to stay on longer. We have, what we're looking at here now is 3 separate features, aside from the timer feature, and aside from our login system, our revolutionary login system. Our first feature that I'm going to show you is called blind match. So this is what some of you that are of an older generation may recognize as sort of like the dating game. We have 1 question asker and 3 question answerers. So if I am wanting to essentially, explore my options very fast, I can play with 3 other people, and I can ask them questions. I would essentially select. I wouldn't get to see what their picture looks like. These would be completely random strangers. I would essentially ask them, what's your favorite food? All right, I don't know how to spell apparently. I could also send a voice message, and that I think is working. Yes, it is. And then essentially I would direct who I would want to send these questions to, and then they would be able to send me responses directly back. At the end of the timed game here, you can see that there's a timer at the top of the screen ticking down. There would be, if I click on this button, it will simulate what that experience would be like. I would have a choice. I can pick person number 1, person number 2, or person number 3. And then if they were to pick me, Gordon would be able to, me and Gordon would basically be able to match, and I'd be able to see Gordon's profile. We can also send messages here. I'm not going to get into that. Actually, I'll show you a little bit about what that messaging feature looks like. We have a simulation. These black dots here represent all the people that I have matched with, and I would see essentially their avatars. I would be able to message people just like you would on any regular dating platform. And the core function of our platform is healthier, or sorry, the core goal, I would say, is healthier. And when we're taking a look at healthier, there are a few things that we can suggest that are necessary. Making meaningful connections is one of them, but meaningful connections without someone being not a catfish or not a scammer is something completely different. Our environment, this game environment, allows me to see, essentially this is a chat room here. There would be sort of this ongoing chat that happens, and I could enter this room. And then if I found somebody that I wanted to connect with, I could send a request to them, and then I could play a game. Now, the games here are not fully functional right now. I mean, I think they may be looking like they're fully functional. So this is obviously chess. And I would be able to have a conversation with that person on the other side. And I would be able to, have a more personal experience before being able to match with them. This is giving a lot of power to people, giving people a lot of ability to focus on meaningful connections. So this is our chat game, or our chat, our game room.
Wow.
The last feature that we're going to see here is our swipe feature. Our swipe feature is similar to what you would see on a regular dating site, although it has our twist on it. meaningful at the heart of this. If someone is looking for their best fit, if you will, they will be able to uncover someone's personality before they will be able to see their pictures. So if I were to go and take a look at Maggie's profile here, Maggie's profile is going to be hidden under these puzzle pieces at the top of the screen. So I wouldn't be able to see Maggie until I swipe up and started to look at all the information in her profile. Swiping up again and learning more about this person gives me the ability to now uncover Maggie's photo. And if Maggie's photo was behind here in the white, we would be able to see Maggie's picture. So we have all of these questions that are set up on someone's profile. And finally, Maggie's face would be aligned in that centerpiece. And if I wanted to connect with Maggie, I could select that I was interested. And if I was not interested, I would just move on to seeing someone else's profile. So essentially, this is our take on the dating industry, and it's coming soon. It's called Dating Square, and I'm so very proud of our team members for the work that they've done on this project. It should be hitting app stores in the next few weeks, although we don't have a firm launch date. We are going to be having hopefully a launch party once that happens, and everybody will be virtually invited. Getting back to our regular program here, we have one more 65 Square team member to hear from. We have Jason from our database team. He's going to be talking about the database side of the 65 Square app and how that affects the end user.
Hi, my name is Jason, and I'm the Executive VP of Data Management for 65 Square. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit about databases in general and some of the things our database team is currently working on and some of our goals for the future. So a database it's otherwise known as a backbone of any information system. Pretty much any part of the application or user experience has some extent interaction with a database. We follow a popular methodology known as Agile, which relies on collaboration between all teams. And it kind of forces our team to be very adaptable and versatile to a rapidly changing development environment. And it allows us to take this really large-scale project and break it down into more smaller, manageable development cycles. Another one of our goals is security and keeping the database secure. So we've expended a lot of resources recently on database security procedures. What you're looking at here is what's known as a conceptual data model. This is our main lifeblood of our team. It's our documentation. It's a very large document, about over 100 pages long. We've collaborated with a lot of different teams and had hundreds of meetings and put all the requirements and knowledge into this document. It's also a blueprint of the logical database. This is known as an entity relationship diagram, and it's a technical visual representation of our database. That just kind of gives you a little glimpse of some of the work that we're currently doing. The database team, we're really excited and eager to get the version 1 launch and live. We're just putting on the finishing touches of the database and getting it ready to stage for live testing. And hopefully we'll have that out for you soon. I'm always looking for volunteers. I think we saw that 80% of the applicants are applying because they want to contribute to this great cause, and it is a great cause. I mean, you know, we're trying to, you know, help children stay safe online, and it's a really big problem. And so if that's something that interests you, please get in contact with us, and you know, let's solve this problem all together. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Jason. Moving on, I just want to kind of touch on a really remarkable fact. Earlier today, we served our board members with our financial statements for our year end. In total last year, unfortunately, we had a decrease in some of our donations, but we're always looking to gain more revenues. One way that we are putting on our books in the next, little bit, and for our past corporate year, is in-kind donations. And last year alone, just from attending team meetings, just team meetings, and a team meeting on average per week is about 45 minutes. So all of our team members attending all of the team meetings that we had just in the last corporate year, we had giving each of those team members a fair market value for their hourly rate for attending those team meetings, $679,000 in-kind donations. And that is astounding. And I want to thank everyone that has contributed over the last corporate year for that kind of success, because that is just remarkable. Our fundraising team also is going to be working towards a goal in the next year for just a simple goal of applying for one grant per quarter. And that's something that I think is very achievable. We're actually looking at applying to Lululemon right now for, we're writing up a letter of intent for a grant from Lululemon. So a lot of exciting things happening as far as fundraising is concerned, as far as trying to increase the resources of the organization to dedicate that towards our team members. Our team members are so important, and generally speaking, we're trying to create opportunities for them. And we have a lot of opportunities coming very soon, especially with 65 Square. I'm going to turn things over now to my colleague again, Romaine. Romaine?
Yeah, just discussing now onto the goals that we have for Defend. First one is the launch of 65 Square. 65 Square has been our kind of like the baby of Defend, and it's a project that it's been lengthy, but with care, and it's been reasonably lengthy. But the launch of 65 Square. The launch of It's All Gray, I'm sure that you followed the wonderful video from Lucas about the MAPS project. That's one of our goals. The launch of our parents workshop. And so with the education team, where Atika spoke about the care for the research and for the parents in that workshop, and the importance of it, right? And so that's what we plan on launching as well. So our cybersecurity workshops. So we've already started giving out these workshops, but we plan on reaching out to more organizations in order to offer this free workshop to just promote awareness and just teach others and organizations on cybersecurity and have that training. Creating more great creative content is a goal for Defend as well. Okay, so increasing incoming funds. So just in the last slide where Jason spoke about fundraising, it's been a very key thing that we're focusing on, and just increasing the funds for Defend. And so that's one of our goals as well. Okay, so that was the goals section. Lastly, this is just a slide about how to get involved with Defend. And so volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. This is one of the main ways to get involved. There are so many different Defend streams. And so from if you have a background in education, a background in advocacy, any type of background, you can get involved with any stream. There is definitely a stream for you. So volunteering is a main way to get involved. Next is to donate. To see this, that you can go on our Help Us Defend, so our website, and you'll see the different ways that you can donate to this organization.
Romaine, fun fact, people watching on live stream right now on YouTube can actually donate right on YouTube. So that's a fun fact.
Great, great. So there we go. You can also donate right now through YouTube. Lastly, share, share, share. And so if you're not able to dedicate some time to volunteer, if you're not able to donate, sharing is free. And so you can make sure that you share our page, share our content, and that would promote Defend in a wider scale. And so that was the end of it. Right now, we're gonna just take some questions if anyone has any.
So I guess this is open for anybody with the organization that is on the call right now. So we've got, I think, 26 other people with us from a variety of different sections of the organization on the line with us. If you guys have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself or put your hand up is probably a better one, and then we will unmute you. If you're on YouTube watching, thank you so much for watching, and you can put that also in the chat box on YouTube. So anybody have any questions for the committee or even some board members that might have some questions that might be appropriate for this forum, for anything that we talked about or discussed this evening? We have a question. I'm not sure who TO is. Sorry, Jason, I do have to take off. I understand that the meeting ran until 6.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Jason, not a question. I was just messaging you.
All right, not a question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for attending, Tiana. So does anyone else have any questions or any other thoughts? Any closing thoughts? Otherwise, it's been a slice. We will now be moving on to our next corporate year and to bigger and better things. We hope to have everybody involved more on a regular basis. And we are loving the size of the teams that we're growing. Again, we have 25 different teams. As Romaine said, if you're interested in volunteering, there is something literally for anybody, from lawyers to accountants to administrative people to people that are interested in doing stuff in person, possibly in different jurisdictions. We have different events that we've put on. In the last few weeks, our marketing team was in Idaho putting on an event at a Pride event. So, you know, there are plenty of opportunities around the world that we can put together, even just from people saying, oh, yes, I'm interested in getting involved. So I don't see any other hands. It was a pleasure being with you tonight. And Atika and Romaine, thank you for sharing and leading us tonight. And we will see you guys at your next respective team meetings. And for the rest of you, in the general public, we will see you again soon on our YouTube channels.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Bye.